Welcome to this How to Upgrade Simply Safety software movie. This movie will provide an overview of how to upgrade your Simply Safety software from version 5 to version 6. The main differences between versions 5 and 6 are these. SQL Server Database. The Simply Safety database changes from Microsoft Access to Microsoft SQL Server. SQL Server is a much more robust industrial-strength database. If you compare a bicycle to Microsoft Excel and a pickup truck to Microsoft Access, SQL Server would be like a semi-trailer truck. Automatic upgrading. Simply Safety version 6 can upgrade itself over the web, reducing IT maintenance time and providing regular feature updates. Improved speed and interface. The user interface has been streamlined and many modules have speed improvements. Warning: Microsoft Office 2010 has a 32-bit, 64-bit incompatibility. The Simply Safety front end is a runtime packaged Microsoft Access 2010 32-bit file. An incompatibility exists between 32-bit and 64-bit versions of Microsoft Office when run on the same machine. The Simply Safety front-end client should not be installed if the machine is loaded with a 64-bit version of Office 2010. It will work with another version such as the 64-bit MS Office 2013 installation. After installing Simply Safety 32-bit, a 64-bit version of Microsoft Office or Access should not be loaded to the machine or problems will arise. This upgrade is done in 3 separate steps.
Install SQL Server 2012 or 2008 R2 SP2 Express.
Or attach the new SQL database to an existing SQL server, then convert your existing data. This step is normally done on your network server, unless Simply Safety is installed to a single computer. Second, upgrade the installed Simply Safety program on each client workstation to the new version 6 program. You will do this step on each workstation running Simply Safety. Third, run a small patch on the computer running the Simply Safety Alert program. If Alert is not installed, you should install it to a machine running 24/7 that can connect to the new SQL database file. Your IT department needs to be involved. There will be some decisions to make about how and where to install the SQL Server Express database or whether to connect to an existing SQL Server database. These decisions are best made by someone familiar with your network and SQL Server. Before beginning, check the version 6 requirements. Please pause this movie on this slide and look closely at these requirements. Here's what else you will need. You will need to be sure the location of your company database file. This file is called safedata.mdb and is normally located on a database server. There may be more than one safedata.mdb on your network. It is critical that you find and convert the correct one. To find this file, go to a computer that is properly connected to the Simply Safety database. Open Simply Safety and click on the IT tab in the Setup module. In the yellow field, you will find the location of the database you are connected to. Note, if you are only using a single copy of Simply Safety for one person, this file may be sitting in the C program file Simply Safety directory on your machine. Number 2, you will need to know where the front-end client computers running Simply Safety are located. An upgrade must be run on each. Note that version 6 can upgrade itself over the web in the future. Number 3, give yourself some time to do this. On large databases, a conversion could take up to an hour. This is a 4-step process. Notice the tabs on the upgrade page below. The first tab is Information. This page is intended for the IT manager to read about and plan for this upgrade. The second tab is Database Converter. This one-time SQL installation conversion process should be done by the IT manager. It must be done on the machine your safedata.mdb database file is located on, usually a network server. This step is performed by the IT manager on the database server once. Tab number 3 is Simply Safety Front End. In this step, the Simply Safety Front End user interface files are upgraded. A patch must be run on all machines running Simply Safety. This step is performed by the IT manager or users on all client machines, usually multiple times or once for each machine. The fourth tab is Simply Safety Alert. In this step, the Simply Safety Alert program is upgraded with a patch file. If you are not using the Alert program, it can be installed in this step. This step is performed by the IT manager on one machine, usually the server, once. Before beginning, make sure all users are logged out. The Simply Safety Setup Module IT System Information tab contains an administrative shutdown checkbox or button that will automatically log all users out of Simply Safety within 5 minutes. Note, when Simply Safety is restarted, shut this checkbox off or the process of logging out users will begin again. Before beginning, do one last check to make sure you have administrator privileges everywhere and meet all system requirements. You will need to make some decisions about SQL Server. Do you have the right persons on hand for that? If you're installing the database to Windows XP SP3 or Windows Server 2003, please pause the movie and review this information. If you're installing the database to Windows Server 2008 or higher, Windows 7 or higher, or Windows Vista SP2, please pause the movie now and review this information. Step 1. Database conversion performed by the IT manager. 3 options are available for installing the SQL Server database. Use the flowchart to the right to determine the best option. Whichever option you choose during this step, your version 5 current data is imported to the new SQL Server database. Please pause the movie at this point and review the information on this form. If you're using a multi-user version of Simply Safety and your safedata.mdb file is on a network server, then go to the server to perform this step. Make sure you have full permissions. Exception: if you are using a single user copy of Simply Safety and all files are on your personal computer, then you would perform this step on that computer. This step should be performed by a person familiar with SQL Server databases. Be prepared that this step could take up to an hour for large databases. If you choose the SQL Server Express installation, 2 accounts will be created, SA and SS User X. The SA account is for database administration. The credentials for the SS User X account is hard-coded into Simply Safety and allows the program to communicate with the database. If you have your own SQL Server and choose the second option, only the SS User X account will be created. SQL Server must be set to mixed mode authentication to allow Simply Safety to connect to the database. Step 2. Simply Safety Client Upgrade performed by IT or users. This step must be performed on each client workstation running Simply Safety, either in person or remotely. Click the first link to download a patch file that will upgrade your current version 5 program to version 6. The patch file, when downloaded and run, will ask you to browse to the location of your Simply Safety program. On most computers, this will be in C program file Simply Safety. Click the second link if you decide to uninstall version 5 first, then perform a full install of version 6, or to install version 6 to a new computer that has not run Simply Safety before. This link will trigger the full installer for the version 6 front end. Repeat the steps above until each computer running Simply Safety version 5 is upgraded and or until all new computers are loaded with a version 6 front-end client. Step 3. Simply Safety Alert Upgrade performed by the IT Manager. This step should be performed once by the IT Manager on the computer that is currently running the Simply Safety Alert program. Simply download the patch and follow the prompts. This patch updates 2 files in your alert directory, normally Simply Safety Alert. If you are not currently using the Simply Safety Alert program, which sends emails on expiring items, click the second link to download the full installation. This program should be installed on one computer only that runs 24/7 and has access to the SQL Server database file. This application is intended for use by one person only. It is normally installed to the Safety Manager's computer or the network server. Ensure that the person intended to use this application has permissions to access it. Notes read the Images directory. Documents, images, and other files that are linked to Simply Safety are stored in an Images directory and subdirectories. This directory is normally located on a shared drive, such as a network server. After the upgrade, the new version of Simply Safety will simply reconnect to the old location of the Images directory. You do not need to make any changes. You can check on the location of the Images directory on the IT System Information tab in the Setup module. If necessary, this directory can be moved to a new location.